Welcome back to episode 1 of a brand new series. Legion Pro Wrestling, TNA, Impact Wrestling, what else have we got? I'm trying to think of what series we got. We've got WWF 1954, we've got Impact Wrestling, we've got Legion Pro Wrestling. All three of them I'm enjoying. Falling Star Wrestling is something else I'm enjoying, but I cannot get the right fit for me. I've tried making it a fun save where all the ratings are a bit wacky and they're not 100%, but that doesn't feel right. So we're going to do a different save entirely today. And you're going to be asking, what does he mean by that? We're going to let this process, and I'm going to explain to you what this save is going to be. Well, I would do. Let's go to here and go into... I cannot do this very well because I am a useless idiot. So British wrestling professional wrestling in the United Kingdom. So you've got. So the mid-2010s saw an increased drive to return to British wrestling to ITV. But you've now got. You've got at the moment you've got World of Sport, you've got WWE NXT, and there's wrestling companies all over the country. Now, if you look at professional wrestlings in the country, you've got Full Count, you've got Forefront, you've got Alpha, AMP, All Action Wrestling, All Star, which is the longest running UK wrestling promotion, run by Brian Dixon, Alternative, Attack Pro, which is run by Chris Brooks and founded by Pete Dunne and Jim Lee, but its own, promoters of Saraya Knight with Bellatrix. So I'm going to do something that I never thought I'd do. I'm going to be picking 4 of my favourite companies, including Falling Star, so there'll be 5. 4 or 5, so you will see me pick those 4 companies. I can confirm now Falling Star, Preston City, Progress are going to be two of the 5, and I would do a episode a week of the UK wrestling promotions, each one being run properly as they book their shows, each one with different storylines, and I'm going to see which one and see if that gets any interest. So we'll see you guys with, this is actually loaded, awesome. So 5 players in the game. The first player is going to be me. I'm going to be as avatar. I'm going to use my user talents as default. Save. Select as avatar. Now, I don't know if I know which avatar I'm using because I don't know if it tells me, but I'm going to have Jimmy Star, of course. Greatest. User talent. Default. Save. Select as avatar. That's my fiance's mum. Messaging me. So I want you guys to see me kind of get this set up. Now I don't know whether to be Jim Smallman. Who else? I can't remember the guy's name. There's progress on this list. As I said, there's loads. Jim Smallman, John Briley, and Glenn Joseph. I want to be. I think it's Jim Smallman, but I'll have a look. It might be John Briley or Glenn Joseph. Definitely not. I think it's Jim Smallman. Where is Jim? He's not in the game. So I can actually do this a lot easier than what I'm doing now, which is just pull in works for progress. And Bob's your uncle, we get them all. Jim Smallman, yeah, he's the guy I would like to be, or is it? So I'm going to actually use Glenn Joseph because I like Glenn Joseph. He's the exclusive pay-per-view, so he's already on in the company's exclusive. So we're going to have him as our avatar. I'm going to have another avatar. This is player 4 now, with Brian Dixon, wherever Brian. This is going to be the weirdest series you've ever seen, believe you me. Select as avatar. Yeah, Brian Dixon has been entered. Awesome. I'm not going to be using realistic rosters at all. I'm going to just see if Steve Fludder is in the game. But hopefully you'll get to see what I'm doing. Steve Austin's in the game. Is Steve Fludder in the game? Steven Regal, Steve Payne, Steve Nestinsky, Steve Lundberg, Steve Linsky, referee. No. We're gonna have Stephen Regal. I'm gonna use Stephen Regal. Now it's probably a bit cheaty because he's quite popular over here, but you know, he started a wrestling company in Britain. So we're gonna remove those, and then it's gonna come up with player 1, Josh Rayner. Please select the company you want to start with the game. So we've got 5 wrestling companies. I'm just gonna close this down so we get this nice picture, and all of them are gonna be in Britain. Okay, I'm gonna be running. I've got to pick one now, haven't I? I'm going to take it off Will Ospreay and do front line. I'm going to go for one which has already got a few people. So that everything. I'm going to do the one closest to home. Now, where is House of Pain on there? Cambridgeshire, Sports Entertainment Wrestling, Brook, Scottish, East Sussex. So I'm going to be running, not Revolution. Where's IP? Is International Pro Wrestling IPW? So that's going to be the one I run. Owned by Billy Wood. It's already got a nice, good roster. That's going to be me. That's going to be the one Josh Rayner runs. The idea of this, so Jimmy Starr, of course, will be running that. Glenn Joseph, of course, will be running that. Brian Dixon is not going to be running. Is going to be running his company, which is, of course, All Star Championship Wrestling. Stephen Regal has been brought in to run PCW. So how is this series going to work? So, what is going to happen? Each episode, all 5 companies are going to have a show. Each 5 company has a show. We've got 19 days to our first show with this. And basically, we're going to run each company as they would be run in real life. And we're going to have a proper good go at this. So, this is going to be a brand new series. Fun Star Wrestling is not dead, it's still on here. But it's going to be a series where anything is possible. So, our first show is Face Off on Saturday, week 3 of July. So I'm going to try and make sure all our show, with the companies I'm running, our shows don't clash. But, this is something I think is going to get me into doing the UK scene a bit more. Is the fact I know a lot about UK wrestlers like Kip Sabian. This is a better company because you've got Austin Aries on the roster. Who else? We've got Johnny Storm. I don't know if Jody Flash is on here. No, he ain't. But you've got Johnny Storm, Jody Flash, Joseph Connors. Then me, Kip Sabian, Living Grace, Luke Dawes, Mark Haskins, Mike School, Robbie Sharp. So I'm going to want to push this. I'm going to go through some of the companies that we've took over which have got rosters. So obviously if you don't know them, but that's IPWs. So on IPW, you've got Adam Maxted, Amazon, Austin Aries, Bad Bones, Car Noir, Chris Roberts, Kerry Donnelly, Daniel Edler, he's a personality, Danny Duggan, Darryl Allen, Dave Mastiff, Exodus, Eston Reeves, Jack Sexsmith, Jason Manson, Jetta, Jimmy Havoc, Jody Flash, John Atkins, John Ryan, Jonathan Windsor, Johnny Storm, Joseph Connors, Kip Sabian. I bet, I've probably put his popularity. He's probably still quite good in the ring. Me, which is not good. Joseph Connors, Kip Sabian, Levi Grace, Luke Dragon, Mark Haskins, Marty Skill, Robbie X, Robert Sharp, Sammy Smooth, Scott Starr, Sebastian, Charles Samuels, Snare, and it stops there because the computer's loading. Strangler Davis, which is probably London Writers guy, and then Thomas Chamberlain, which is also a colour commentator who's heel. As you can see at the moment, for when we've got our show, there's not many people. Aries is working for Impact, so I'm going to move that to probably the first week. So our first show, which is IPW UK Face Off, which is here. I will have to sort this out. Will probably happen on Saturday, on Sunday. Is that better? Yeah, so Sunday week 2, because Sunday week 3, Charles Summers is at ICW. So we're going to go for Sunday, and we're going to do our first show for this company. This coming Sunday night, 6 days' time. I will sort out the rest of the shows we're going to be doing for IPW UK. I'm going to do everything it's 3 hours because it's going to work better for us. And I'll work out the middle shows and stuff for IPW later on. For now, Falling Star Wrestling, if you don't know what the roster's like for Falling Star, everyone needs a gimmick. But their popularity is quite good. I think their skills are probably better than what they should be. I'm sorry about that, but I'm not going for everyone. But you'll actually start Big Joe, Bolt, Crawley, Crusher Curtis, C.W. Davis, Danny Collins, Danny Dunn, Fury, George Rashford, Jack Hammer, James R. Kennedy, Jason Soteria, Jaden Scar, Jimmy Starr, JD Flesh, Johnny Kidd, Jonathan Windsor, Johnny Storm, Joseph Connors, King Kendo, Kit David, Lion Kid, Matt Walters, Mitch Basher, Patrick Henson, Robbie Reed, Sammy Smooth, and Falcon. Now, the good thing about running this company is I can confirm that no one's working tonight, So I'm just going to go in, add a 2-hour event, Fallen Star Wrestling, Gone Too Far, 3 hours. And that's going to be our first show. I'm going to book that tonight. So I'm going to start off with Fallen Star Wrestling, because it's meant to be the Fallen Star Wrestling episode. But instead it's going to be called 5 Companies in 1 Country. That's what the series is going to be called. Actually, that is what the series is going to be called. Where's my notepad? I don't really need these anymore. 5... Oh, God. Countries. 5 companies in 1 country. So there we go, that's done. I'm not going to book anything for the Fallen Star show. I'm just going to get on it. We're going to skip forward, and as soon as I get on to booking that, I will turn the company off. Right, progress. Let's see what we got in progress. I'm really excited to see what we got in progress. Matt Riddle has entered the final month of his contract. Okay, that's something I'm going to have to get on top of. Why am I going for written? I'm not going to be able to get into written. And also another thing I'm going to have to look at is, like, you know, they've got Hill. I will be turning her faces off for this series, all companies, just so I can have a bit more easy booking. But you got Session Moff Martina. I'd probably wait for Progress, because Progress have got heels and faces. Chief Deputy Dunn, Chris Brooks, Chris Roberts, Chuck Mambo, Dahlia Black, Damien Moser, Dave Mastiff, Bill Black Jr. Oh, he's an opener. Eddie Dennis, Al Ligero, Jack Sexsmith, James Drake, Jim Hunter, Jim Smallman, Jimmy Havoc, Ginny, John Biley, Catty Harvey, Kaylee Ray, Kid Lycos, Laura Darmento, Lee Hunter, Madman Manson, Mark Haskins, Matt Riddle, Morgan Webster, Pete Dunn, Rory Johnson, Strangler Davis, TK Cooper, Tony Storm, Travis Banks, Trent Seven, Tyler Bate, Walter, Will Ospreay, William Eva, and Zach Gibson. Oh, okay then. Zack Sabre Jr. has obviously left Progress. When do the Progress chapters happen? So there, you know, Progress chapter 66. I'll keep that. I'm going to do them as a 3-hour, because that's what they normally are, about 3 hours and a half, which is what they'll be. And I'm going to move them to Saturday week 1s of every month. I'm not going to do any. Yeah, Endeavours can stay dormant for now. I won't bring them back for the time being. But there we go. Have we got any broadcasting deals for this company? So we're on Pivot Share Europe. Can we do any better than Pivot Share? Not being mean to Progress. Bringer. Negotiate. Challenge. Frontrunner. Made. Netflix Europe. See, Pivot Share is tiny, so I want to kind of go for something which is very small, because that's better than tiny, but Challenge is very small as well. So the best we can get is Netflix. We can go for Netflix. We can do a new deal for Netflix at a late evening slot if we can get it. 6 months. Late night. So they're only going to guarantee a number of 6 events. So that's an event a month. For some reason, I don't know why they're only allowing us to do that. So we're going to keep where we are for that, but it's worth a look. So yeah, we've got 5 days, and then we've got a Progress chapter. I'm not going to book anything for the Progress chapter on camera. I'll book that off screen, because I'm not sure what I'm going to do with Progress, because I haven't watched Progress for quite a while. So Travis Banks, who's our Atlantis, Walter. For some reason, we've got 2 Progress titles. I'm going to retire that one because it looks rubbish. We've only got 1 Atlantis, which is good. National Progression Series floating. That can be retired. The Super Strong Star 16 can stay. Tag team is James Day, and I'll sort out the pictures for these later on. But there we go, that's Progress. ASAW at the moment is a touring company. I think, is it a touring company? Schedule touring months, yeah, so it is a touring company, so I'm going to change that. Yep, so it's now a regular schedule, and I'll sort out a nice roster for Brian Dixon very shortly. We'll sort you out a nice cheap little roster. You're going to be a referee, okay. But we'll sort all that out as and when we get on to week 2. I'm just going to show you the companies we're working with. So this is the oldest running UK company in the country, ASAW. It's been around for quite a few years. There's quite a lot of shows and stuff, so we've got a few bits to work with. I don't know what retired titles we've got, British Open and tag teams. But you can see like Robbie Dynamite, Dean Allmark, who've been here, Chaos. So a lot of good, quite important names have been in this company. Names like Ricky Knight and Jimmy Ocean and stuff in the 1990s. If you look at the 1990s save, that is there. It's the longest running. And it was ASAW that sold all its rights to WAW, which I was going to do, but I thought better of it. And then, of course, we got Steven Regal, running PCW. Now, I am going to have a look at PCW's website, and this is where I'm going to end it, and I'm going to start work on PCW because he's at number 5. He's 50 years old now at the moment. Jeez, he's quite young, actually. So I'm going to see you guys at each event in this episode. It's been a 50-minute just to show you the setup. 5 companies in 1 country. Wish me luck. We'll see you again real soon. Thanks for watching. Welcome back to Fallen Star Wrestling on the new series. 5 companies in 1 country. I'm getting fish and chips in a minute. Fish and chips for dinner. Anyway, so I like coming to the mother-in-law's house. In a decent match, the NLP defeat Team Raw in 15-11 when Mitch Basher defeated JD Flash by pinfall. Johnny Storm 48, JD Flash 42, Mitch 35, Crawley 37. No work approved. Johnny Storm in Rumble, Crawley in Performance. So we've got 338 people at the Gangway Community Centre, which is not bad. So Team Raw versus Team the NLP. Don't know what the actual name is, so I quickly set this show up so I can start, get 1 show for this month out of the way. Johnny Storm Rumble and Crawley in Performance. I probably just already said that. So I did get these out because I'm going to get these out tomorrow, which is Friday. So these are going to go out late, and you're going to probably get 2. I'm going to probably do 2 months of recordings over the next couple of days. Oh yes, let's go with this. Let's get everybody changed. Oh yeah, because I had a special guest referee. In a Bavad Subpar Wrestling and Little Heat, Jonathan Windsor defeated Danny Duggan at 15-23 by pinfall. Jonathan Windsor 30, Danny Duggan 31. No work improvements. 27E, and James, we're going to get that all night because James R. Kennedy is our referee all night long. In a poor match, Kincaid defeated Alicia Stark in 15-04 by pinfall. 24E. Ashley Stark 33, Kincaid 20. No work improvements. Oh, do you want to continue with that dressing this? New. Handle changes. Thank you. There we go. 24E. Not bad. In the Bavad Turbo Wrestling Honors and Cardi, Sammy Smooth defeated Kip Sabian. Kip Sabian 34, Sammy Smooth 14. No work improvements at 23E. Do you want to continue with dressing this? No. Complete. Thank you. 23E. Not bad. In a decent match, Lion Kid defeated George Rashford in 14-42 by people from the Lion Raw Press. Lion Kid 40, George Rashford 30, 34 EE+. No work improvements. James R. Kennedy's with an awful referee. Do you want to continue without dressing this? No, thank you. In a decent match, the Pitbulls defeated Next Level in 14-51 when Bulk defeated Jackhammer by pinfall. Jackhammer 43, Jens Scar 35, Big Joe 44, Bulk 44. Bulk improving in technical, and the Next Level versus the Pitbulls, which is actually the real tag team. 316 minus. Do you want to continue about dressing this? No, everyone needs a gimmick, so can we hurry up and get the gimmicks set up? Thank you. In a decent match, Robbie Reed defeated PVC in 14-37, PVC 40, Robbie Reed 32, no work improvements. I'll hopefully get a referee on this roster. I've used everybody in the show just to sort the gimmicks out. So hopefully there will be a proper referee on the next freaking show. In a belt vote, good heat and decent wrestling, CW Davis defeated Crusher Curtis at 14-40. Crusher Curtis 44, CW Davis 42. No work improvements, 37D minus. Do you want to continue with addressing this? No, we're going to complete that gimmick, and we're going to complete his gimmick. We're going to be both very good. In a decent match, Tom Falcon defeated Furio in 15-06. Furio 40, Tom Falcon 37. No work improvements. Once again, it's J.R. Kennedy. Nope, Falcon. I think everyone's aligned as a heel. In above had Fantastic Heat and Good Wrestling, Joseph Connors defeated Matt Walters in 1951 by pinfall. All she wrote. Matt Walters 57, Connors 57. No work improvements to ignore James R. Kennedy off as a ref. Do you want to continue addressing it? No. Thank you. And then Danny Collins versus Jimmy Starr. In about that good heat and decent wrestling, Jimmy Starr defeated Danny Collins in 45-22 by pinfall. Danny Collins 53, Jimmy Starr 42. No work improvements, and that is where Fallen Star Wrestling's gone too far ends. Let's get their gimmicks sorted, shall we? There we go. We end in tonight's show with that, which is a 43D, increased our popularity in one region. Once again, my favourite thing is Chris Jericho's on this one. Can you actually do it when we have a Chris Jericho match? It would be quite nice to see that happen. But Matt Walters, Danny Collins, And Joseph Connors were the stars. They weren't getting, you know, we're back to normal now where we should be with these saves. I have signed everybody who I can sign who are on the actual realistic PC Preston City Wrestling website. And I've signed all the tag teams I can. So that will be coming up, and then we'll do... So all 5 companies will have a show this month. Then next month I have a show, and I'll try and get 2 episodes recorded of this before I move on to do WWF, Local to Global, and Impact. So this is going to take a few days, but I'm enjoying it. It's good fun doing this. So we'll see you guys with our next show, which I think is IPW or PCW, one of the two. I think it's IPW next. Thank you for watching. It's time for our first Progress show. We're getting close to doing ASAW soon. We're also getting close for PCW. It's just making sure all the shows are booked around each other. Jim Smallman and John Briley are not used tonight. Do not sod it. Just so we don't get in trouble. Because I'm on commentary, I'm going to just throw Jim Smallman and John Briley onto commentary desk, commentation stations, just so that there's no complaints, everyone's being used. But are you ready for your first ever Progress show? In about Pro Wrestling A Little Heat, we are sold out in front of 4,000 people. Jack Smith defeated Rory Johnson in 14-30-53 by pinfall the Jawgasm. Jack Smith 34, Rory Johnson 31. No work improvements. Oh, what we got? Oh, Jack Smith. Yeah, he needed his gimmick change though. That's that. In about that decent wrestling with a cheat, Matt Riddle defeated Walter in 15-29 by pinfall. Matt Riddle is once again the Progress Atlantis champion. Matt Riddle 50, Walter 33, no work improvements, so 33 plus. In about Pro Wrestling A Little Heat, Kaylee Ray defeated Ginny, Katie Harvey, Session Moff Martina, Leo De Monto, and Tony Storm. In an elimination match in 15:05, the order elimination was Leo De Monto first and Session Moff Martina, then Ginny, then Katie Harvey, and finally Tony Storm. Kaylee Ray is your Progress Women's Champion. Session Moff 49, Ginny 38, Katie Harvey 30, Kaylee Ray 39, Laura Manteo 35, and Tony Storm 44. Katie Harvey in Techno and Performance, which is nice to see, a 40D minus. In about Pro Wrestling A Little Heat, Earl Black Jr. defeated Chief Deputy Dunn in 15:26 by pinfall. Earl Black Jr. 35, Chief Deputy Dunn 38. These two have good, great chemistry. Earl Black's not suited to his gimmick, nor is Chief Deputy Dunn, which is the first time I've had to deal with this. So I'll check this for every time I run a show. So Chief and Earl Black. I'm actually enjoying running 5 companies at once. There's so many different aspects to each company, which is good fun. In about Pro Wrestling A Little Heat, Morgan Webster defeated Strangler Davis in 14:58 by pin of the 450 splash. Strangler Davis is not suited to his gimmick. Oh god. I'm going to have to check that in all companies, but it's different then. You know, formerly known for the London Rights. Morgan Webster 37, Davies 36, no work 35E plus. In a pool match, Mark Haskins defeated Eddie Dennis in 14:42 by pin of the Painkiller. Eddie Dennis first game, Eddie Dennis 21, Mark Haskins 53. Haskins in performance, Eddie Dennis in technical and performance, which is nice to see. In a decent match, Grizzled Young Veterans defeated Mustache Mountain in 20 minutes and 22 seconds when James Drake defeated 27 by pinfall to Mr. Mayhem. Grizzled Young Veterans make defense number 1 of their Progress Tag Team titles. Tyler Bate carried the match. Tyler Bate's getting his gimmick. Tyler Bate 59, 27-44, Zach Gibbons 48, James Drake 45, no working with 49D. In a terrible match, David Moser defeated TK Cooper in 14:45 by pinfall the Abominable Neckbreaker. TK Cooper 26, David Moser 29, no work improvements. In a bad had decent wrestling with a cheat, Banter Edition defeated #CCK in 15:11 when Alligator defeated Chris Brooks by pinfall in Operation Weardown. Chris Brooks 38, Kid Lycos 46, Alligator 49, Dave Massive 43, Chris Brooks improving in performance. In a decent match, Pete Dunne defeated Jimmy Havoc in 15:13 by pinfall the bitter end. Jimmy Havoc 48, Pete Dunne 58, no working prison 52D plus. In a battle at Pro Wrestling A Little Heat, the Hunter Brothers defeated Sweet Jesus in 10:32 when Lee Hunter defeated Chuck Mambo by pinfall after using a foreign object. William Eaver 32, Chuck Mambo 25, Lee Hunter 41, Jim Hunter 32, William Eaver improving in performance of 33E plus. And then our main event is the returning Will Ospreay, a 57C minus. In a battle had great wrestling and decent match crowd, Will Ospreay returns defeating Travis Banks in 25 minutes 03 by pinfall of 630 splash. He is the Progress champion. welcome back with Ospreay. This was the time, so this match is about announcing. Travis Banks 56, Ospreay 76, Will Ospreay improving in Rumble. But that's where we're going to end tonight's show. We're 54. Increased popularity in 11 regions, losses at 1 popularity in 1 region. I'm not going to complain with that. We are going to lose popularity because we're nowhere going to get near what they've set us out to have popularity for. Pete Dunne and Tyler. Where's Tyler Bate? La 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 la. Tyler Bate. Tyler Bate. So, ladies and gentlemen, we'll see you back here for the next show, which I think is going to be IPW UK. So, we'll see you for IPW UK. This is International Pro Wrestling UK, and this is show number 3. There's 1, 2, 3. This is number 3, and then we've got 2 more promotions, ASAWs and Thingamies. But in a bout of decent wrestling with the cheat, the Hunter Brothers defeated D&D Security in 7:43 when Jim Hunter defeated Kira Donnelly by pinfall the Swanton Bomb. Lee Hunter's David's old school heel gimmick, Scott Short awful. Jim Hunter's school heel gimmick, very good. Danny Dunn 37, Kira Donnelly 31. Jim Hinnell 33, Lee Hunter 35. No worries. So IPW will occasionally bring in on a couple of month contracts, so they do 2 shows with us probably. Superstars from across the seas, or I might sign some to permanent contracts very soon, like I've done with All Star Wrestling. So All Star Wrestling is full of international and British stars. I've kind of gone a bit of fun with that one. In a pool match, Bad Bones defeat Adam Maxteff in 8:20 by pin of the Shadow Driver, 31E+. Bad Bones sustained a Bruce Sternum. Announced quality in the colour commentary match boost. Adam Maxteff 25, Bad Bones 32. No work improvements of 31E+. In about that decent wrestling, but didn't have much heat. Kip Sabian defeated Robbie X in 11:45 by pin for the springboard drop kick. Kip Sabian makes defense number 1 of his Z-Force Championship title. Robbie X 44, Kip Sabian 43. No work in Rizzo 45D. That's a nice little match. In a pool match, the Monsters defeated Smooth Star in 12:19 when Exodus defeated Scott Star by pin of the chokeslam. Scott Star 29, Sammy Smooth 20, Snare 22, Exodus 34. Snare in performance, nice 31E+, not bad. In a pool match, Olivia Grace defeated Amazon in 13:23 by pinfall. Olivia Grace not suited to a gimmick. Is that going to go? Aha, good. I need to check the progress one. So each save has their own little one. That's good. The bout Dragon Middle 31, Olivia Grace 25, Noah Cruz. So I expect at least another 4 wrestlers for the female division. That's the female division in pre-IPW right there. In a pool match, K Noir defeated Jonathan Windsor in 14:59 by pin for the Guillotine Brainbuster. K Noir 36, Jonathan Windsor 31. No work of 35E+. In a decent match, Filthy and Sexy defeated Flesh and Storm in 15:04 when Jack Sexsmith defeated Johnny Storm by pin for the Jawgasm. Filthy Sexy make defense number 1 of his IPW UK British tag titles. Johnny Storm 49, Jody Flash 49, Robert Sharp 37, Jack Sexsmith 28. No work improvements, but I'm not changing champions just yet. In a decent match, Mark Haskins defeated Strangler Davies in 15:19 by pin for the Cradle to Grave. Mark Haskins makes defense number 1 of his IPW UK All England title. Mark Haskins ready off his game. Strangler Davies 37, Haskins 43. 42D. Proud of that. In a pool match, John Ryan defeated Luke Dragon Phoenix in 14:47 by pin for the Ryan Luke Driver. 37D-. Joe Ryan 30, Luke Dragon 39. Joe Ryan improving in performance. In a pool match, Sebastian defeated Darrell Allen in 15:03 by pinfall. Darrell Allen's not suited to his gimmick. Sebastian's dislocated his knee. Sorry guys, I'm just writing out Darrell Allen's name. Hello Mickey, you alright Prince? The cat just walks by as I'm laying on the floor. Sebastian sustained dislocation. Darrell Allen 33, Sebastian 27. No work improvements. It's getting a bit dark now. I think there's going to be a thunderstorm soon. In a decent match, Charles Samuels defeated Dave Mastiff in 14:38 by pin of the Spinebuster. 47D. Dave Mastiff 45, Charles Samuels 46. Charles Samuels is looking very stale. Okay. How does that look for you? Because I've changed his gimmick now. He shouldn't be looking that stale. In a decent match, James Mason defeated Esther Reeves in 14:58 by pin for the handspring back elbow. Esther Reeves 46, James Mason 50. And Esther Marie's improved in performance of 50D+. God knows what the rest of the card's going to do for us. In above, fantastic heat and great wrestling. Mighty Skull defeated Joseph Connors in 15-24 by pin for the graduation. These two have pretty good chemistry left in the match. Joseph Connors 60, Mighty Skull 59. Skull's improved in performance of 61C. Not confident about that. 37D minus. And that gets 58C minus. And about that, good wrestling and decent match crowd. Austin Aries defeated Jimmy Havoc in 21 minutes 46 by pinfall, the 450 splash. Austin Aries makes defense number 1 of his IPW UK heavyweight title. Jimmy Havoc 44, Austin Aries 63. My bout storyline started this game heat. Because I do believe, even though it doesn't say it in the game, that Jimmy Havoc was the champion before Austin Aries retrieved it. Oh, great. The match is over and Austin Aries is celebrating. Jimmy Havoc looks angry and jumps in from behind, beating him down to the mat. So that's the end of IPW International Pro Wrestling's first show. We'll have one next month, of course. That is going to go to quite a few people on the night. Austin Aries going to give it to Joseph Connors, and of course Joseph Connors has been made to be a bit better than he actually is in real life because of his WWE contract. He is working with WWE, so you know, nice. Don't be surprised if I don't sign Pete Dunne to this company, or you know, someone else. There's someone else been released by WWE. But there you go. That's Joseph Connors team, please, and we'll see you with our last two shows. We've got two more, and we'll see you then. Thanks for watching. Welcome back to One Company, 5 companies, 1 country. Get the name right. This is All Star Wrestling. This is All Star Weekend. There's 310 people at the hall. Everyone you see tonight, apart from myself, one, which I expect. So Vince McMahon has died, or for some reason he's given the company to Triple H. Triple H owns the company in this game. So I've gone ahead and created, or it's already created, but I've gone in as Triple H and I've added a load of companies, including All Star Wrestling, the 5 companies we're working, including a load of companies from Australia, some from New Japan, and some from Mexico and America. And the idea is that once Triple H gets WWE, he's going to try and have that monopoly of independent companies where he can get talent from. So he's going to have the WWE Universe, which is also how Pete Dunne holds his United Kingdom title. So that means we can get some names from WWE if we wanted to bring in for one night special appearance, like Finn Balor, Sheamus, Cesaro, you know, those sort of people. Jack Gallagher, Noam Dar, or John Cena. But it also means that it's more realistic to what I think is going to happen once Vince McMahon gives the company to Triple H. He's going to try and get agreement with all these independent companies so they can use their talent and they can use the WWE. You know, maybe not use the WWE's talent, but he's got a talent pool to choose from. So everybody who's in the WWE universe is a talent pool for Triple H, basically. That's the idea. Anyway, let's get on with the first show. No angles. Well, there is 2 angles tonight because I need, you know, everyone's moaning there's too much wrestling. But in a veritable heat wrestling and non-existent crowd heat, Chuck Mambo defeated Dave Finley Jr. in 15-13 by pounds of Chuck Hugh. He debuted old face average, Chuck Mambo dude, initial rating above average. Nice quality in the core commentary match boost. Dave Finley 23, Mambo 28. A 27E, not bad. In about that decent wrestling, but a little heat. The Briscoes defeated All Night Express in 14:55 when Jay Briscoe defeated Kenny King by pinfall, the double underhook pile driver. Brett Titus, Egomaniac Crawford, Kenny King, Egomaniac above average. Kenny King was worth his game. Jay Briscoe defeated Redneck average. Mark Briscoe Redneck very good. Kenny King 34, Brett Titus 30, Mark Briscoe 42. Jay Briscoe 40. So if I start doing second events for certain companies, I will just be showing you that month in the UK wrestling scene. I won't be doing anything else. So if one company's got 2 shows, you'll get 2 shows of that company in that one episode. Right? Because certain companies wouldn't be having 2 shows. In about that subpar wrestling, a little heat, Sharp Boy defeated Adam Chase at 15:07 by pinfall the stunner. So Adam Chase 32, Sharp Boy 20. Adam Chase debuted old school heel gimmick. It's not for great. Sharp Boy debuted a fun bay face going smash below average. The bout of the lack of flow notice being noticeable. Oh, you're again. What I can tell you about All Star Wrestling is it's in Britain, but he would bring over like Sharp Boy, it would bring over the Briscoes, it would bring over the, All Night Express if it could. Also, someone like Angelico would be in the company. In about that subpar wrestling in Little Heat, Angelico defeated Ricky Knight Jr. in 15:23 by pinfall the Superman Senton. Ricky Knight Jr. 27, Angelico 35. Ricky Knight debuted his old school face gimmick that's going straight of awful. Ricky Knight seemed off his game. Angelico old face got his reign of average. No work improvements. As I say, there's no heel face to cut his over. In a poor match, the UK Hooligans defeated #CCK
In 15:29, when Rory Knight defeated Kid Lycos by pinfall for the Zebra Crossing. I ain't been looking at that, which is annoying. Chris Brooks Davies cocky gimmicks got below average. Kid Lycos on face, awful. Kid Lycos again better gimmick. Rory Knight old school heel. It's got a train of awful. Old school heel another awful. Kid Lycos 40. Chris Brooks 36. Zach Knight 20. Rory Knight 29. Kid Lycos improved in Rumble. 360 match. Now I know that this sounds weird, but UK Hoogers do work for All Star Wrestling. Because they talk about it a lot when they do their tours. In the summer, they do go and do matches for them. So it's kind of obvious that I was going to sign them for this company and the other company I've signed them for. In a battle, I didn't have much heat, and Terrible Wrestling, Car Noir defeated Semi Smooth in 14-11 by Pivot the Good Time. Best Facebuster, Car Noir 32, Semi Smooth 16. Car Noir's David Old School heel gimmick. Below average, Car Noir's worth his game, so Smooth Davies Ladies Man gimmick, so it's really very good. And no work on 27E, not bad for a match. In about the dad, didn't have much heat at Terrible Wrestling. Evan Max Duff defeated Damian Mosley in 15:09 by pinfall. Damian Mosley 23, Adam Max Duff 28. Damian Mosley old school face comes from below average. Damian Mosley blew off his game. David did cocky gimmick, constraint of average. No work improvements. 27E, not bad. In a decent match, he's a bit better. In a decent match, Jason Prime defeated Johnny Storm in 15:30 by pinfall the spear. Jason Prime 29, Johnny Storm 46. Jason Prime did his monster gimmick condition very good. Johnny Storm generate above average, no work improvements, but you know, Jason Prime not out there, but Johnny Storm carrying that match. In about that decent crowd was subpar wrestling. William Eva defeated Chris Ridgway in 15:29 by pinfall the Popish Hammer. 34 for Chris Ridgway, William Eva 31. He's David's old school Facebook, which was great, religious, fanatic, awful, the back dread middle lock flow, no work improvements, 27E. In a decent match, James Storm defeated Jack Sexsmith in 15:08 by pinfall the Eye of the Storm. Jack Sexsmith equality fighter gimmick, not for very good. Redneck gimmick for James Storm, it's got an instrument of awful. Sexsmith 30, Storm 52. No work improvements, 45D. Next we have JD Flash versus, this did awful. In a decent match, JD Flash defeated Rich Swann in 23:38 by pinfall of 7:30. By pinfall of 7:20 Phoenix DDT. JD Flash is your All-Star Wrestling champion. He fan favourite gimmick in this very poor, fan favourite gimmick in this very great. There seems to be a rock flow notable, which is great for the drama. JD Flash 38, Rich Swann 40. No work improvements, 33E plus. Next up we have Pete Dunne taking on Bulk in the main event, which gets a 60C. In a good match, Pete Dunne defeated Bulk in 20 minutes 47 by pinfall at bitter end. Pete Dunne makes defense number 1 of his WWE United Kingdom title. All Day's badass gimmick, has got above average. Bulk and Pete Dunne have great chemistry and showing their performance. Good, 48 and 66. So all the companies we're working for, Bulk and Pruno Techno, are a part of the WWE universe, which is the Triple H's Golden Boy, which is where Pete Dunne and certain WWE titles are going to be used. So I'm going to be bringing in new WWE titles like the Best of the Indies and stuff like that for other companies to use, as well as the UK Championship. Sorry about that, guys. I've been blocked up the whole time. I think it's going to be good fun to have something like that, on this save, because this save is five companies in one country. So we're all a part of that. The Triple H has got all of WWE, even though I don't think Vince McMahon's dead, but hey ho. A 54C-, which is an increase in popularity for this company. I'm going to go to Pete Dunne. I'm going to go to James Storm. I don't know, but I'll give it to Bulk because he was in the main event and that was a great main event. Praise for great performance. So yeah, don't be surprised if you don't suddenly see someone's like a special appearance from Sheamus. So I'm not going to bruise it, but it's going to be a bit of fun for the independent people, and maybe WWE might use the championships. So ladies and gentlemen, we'll see you live for another episode of, I think the final one we got is Preston City Wrestling, so we'll see you at PCW. Thanks for watching.
Hello and welcome back. A quick video. We're going to be we're going to be doing this at the end of the video anyway, going through all the companies before we end. Anyway, but this quick video to show you the alliance. So this is the WWE Universe. All the profits are in a pot share between members. You can use alliance loads, propose talent trades with members. Want to take the damage with members in the thing when there's no thing. But as you can see, there's a lot of companies a part of that. We should go through all the companies in a minute, and then I'm going to show you the titles that we've added. So the WWE Universe, you see Triple H is the owner, Figure 8 on Cena, it's a national. So it's still active and stuff. So we're going to go through. So they've got Absolute Intense Wrestling, Al Zero, Universal Lucha Libre, All Japan Pro Wrestling, All Star, Association Partners to Wrestling, Association The Catch, Beyond Capital, Shikara, DDT New Attitude, Disaster Total, Ultra Violent, Violento, Discovery Wrestling, Do or Die, Falling Star, Fight Club, Finland, House of Hardcore, Ice Ribbon, Insane Championship Wrestling, Lucha Libre Elite, Lucha Toronto, Melbourne City, Ohio Valley Wrestling's Rejoined, Preston City Wrestling, Pro Wrestling Freedoms, Pro Wrestling Gorilla, Progress, Smash, The Crash, World Wrestling Entertainment, WrestleRon, Wrestling Society X, and WWE NXT, of course. We can't even, I'm not using this as a thing to get talent, I just want it to be something that I think it's going to happen when the WWE Universe, you know, Triple H gets hold of the company. He's going to do something like this where all these companies will work as one. So I've added some belts to the thing just to give a bit more flavour. You've got the global title, which is for, you know, every company to use. Any company can use this. Well, I think every company will use these titles when they can. Which is held by Ethan Carter III, which is what I thought would be the best champion for it. So he's in it, you know, he's from NXT. He's not that popular, so he'll probably lose it quite quickly, but that's quite important. Then you've got the Indian Continental Championship, which is held by another WWE guy, of course, Brian Kendrick. Indie Tag Teams. So, you know, they had a tournament to crown these at a house show or something. Got Mac and Nick Jackson. United Kingdom Tag Team, I've given it to Chris Brooks and Kid Lycos. Women's has gone to Xenia Brookside because she's actually in the tournament. And, of course, Pete Dunne. I'm not going to be utilising these belts all the time. It's not like every show they're going to see these appear. On my shows, you'll probably see Pete Dunne. If he's already, you know, if Pete Dunne and Kid Lycos are already on our show, then I'm going to probably bowl the titles because we've already got them working for us. But yeah, so that's what the universe is. I'm not going to show you much else because I don't want to ruin spoilers, but I will ruin some roster signings at the end of the week because contracts ended and they didn't renew them. So we'll see you with PCW, I think, is at the end of the week. Thank you for watching. And welcome back to PCW Preston City Wrestling at the final event this month from the British wrestling scene for Fight Night 2018. In a battle that didn't have much heat in Turbo Wrestling, Xenia Brookside defeated Viper in 14:39 by pinfall. The Iconic Slam. She makes defense number 1 of her women's United Kingdom women's title. Viper's badass, got awful. Second generation gimmick, awful. Viper 28. Xenia 18. She's improving in performance at 25E to open up the night. In a decent match, Hubba Bubba Lucha defeated the Models, the Hunt Bros, and the UK Hooligans in 14:42. The order of elimination was the UK Hooligans first, then the Hunt Bros, and finally Models. Hubba Bubba Lucha are your PCW Tag Team Champions. Bubba Gum from Babyface got on the show very good. Alligator Mass Luchador average. Jerry Haynes cocky, gimmick average. Jerry Haynes is seemed like his game. Danny and Hope, Arrogant Heel, very good. Old School Heel got on the show of awful. Which is Lee Hunter, Jim Hunter, Old School Heel got very good. Old School Heel gimmick for Roy Knight's got on the show of awful. Saturday Night got an average for his Old School Heel gimmick. Alligator 50, Bubba Gum 52, Danny Hope 34, Joey Haynes 36, Jim Hunter 38, Lee Hunter 32, Saturday Night 25, Rory Knight 27, Alligator improving in performance of 42D. In about a decent match, the crowd with Turbo Wrestling, Keith Matt defeated Dave Ryan in 15:04 by pinfall the Stunner. He's WZ Maniac Gimmick, got shown at Old School Hills, got shown at Poor. Keith Matt is visibly tiring. Dave Ryan 31, Keith Matt 18. No quiz. He is 50, so I'll give him some credit for, you know. In a pool match, Robbie Dynamite defeated Charlie Garrett in 15:10 by pinfall the Tombstone Pile Driver. Charlie Garrett 15, Robbie Dynamite 39. Charlie Garrett cocky gimmick below average. Robbie Dynamite Old School Heels got original rate above average. No work improvements for 32E+. In a decent match, Grado defeated Lionheart in 14:39 by pinfall the Wee Boot. Grado from Bowface gimmick below average. Lionheart Old School Heel average awful. Grado 36, Lionheart 36, no work improvements for 37D minus. In a decent match, Brian Kendrick defeated Martin Kirby in 1951 by pinfall the Sliced Bread. He makes defense number 1 of his WWE Indie Intercontinental Championship title. The only reason I brought that on was The only reason I put that on tonight was because we were one wrestler short. David Eagleman at Guinness above average. Mark Adams, Stephen Regal clash. Really clash. Horribly that went together at the announce table. Brian Kendrick 55. Martin Kirby 37. Martin Kirby improving technical and performance 41D. Not bad at all. In about a decent wrestling with a cheat, Kenny Williams defeated Ashton Smith, Dean Allmark and Ryan Smiles in an elimination match in 12:03 when the order elimination was Ryan Smiles first, then Ashton Smith, and finally Dean Allmark. Kenny Williams is the PCW Cruiserweight champion. Ashton Smith's real weaker, below average. Dean Allmark fan favourite. Great fan favourite for Kenny Williams has got good old school face above average. Ashton Smith 36, Dean Allmark 49, Kenny Williams 28, Ryan Smiles 48. Dean Allmark improving in performance 44D. In a decent match, Charles Samuels defeated the bastard Dave Mastiff in 15-19 by pinfall the Spinebuster. Charles Samuels old school heel, Mr. Paul. Dave Mastiff man beast, got a of average. Charles Samuels 48, Dave Mastiff 46. And Dave improving in performance of 49D plus, not bad at all. In a decent match, Tyson T-Bone defeated Chris Masters in 14-40 by pinfall the Gypsy's Kiss. Tyson T-Bone 42, Chris Masters 34. Yeah, we know we'll work that on this week. Tyson T-Bone, badass, below average. Chris Masters, he's Adonis gimmick in this round of average. 33 plus. In a decent match, Monique McKenzie's defeated Ginny, Kaylee Ray, Aja Kong, Sami Zayn, and Toni Storm in an elimination match of 15-21. Lord elimination Sami Zayn first and Kaylee Ray, then Aja Kong, then Ginny Courtney, and finally Toni Storm. She's your PCW Women's Champion. Aja Kong, Monster Hill, going very, very good. Aja Kong was visibly tiring. Ginny Courtney debuted her arrogant heel, going Scottish below average. Ginny Courtney always been off game. Kaylee Ray fan favourite, very good. Girl Next Door gimmick below average. Sami Zayn fan favourite average. Sami Zayn doing a broken show. Toni Storm fan favourite average. Mark Adams to Regal Clash. And I'm going to sneeze. Aja Kong 34, Ginny Courtney 32, Kaylee Ray 42, Minnie McKenzie 28, Sami Zayn 28. Toni Storm 47, Sami Zayn proven in performance, and Minnie McKenzie in performance 33E+. This video is shown to promote Austin Aries, who has arrived come back to PCW. We've got a bigger name in PCW right now. Almost smashed into as good as thought it would, but then Rampage and Yeston Reef ain't that popular. Being above had great heat and good wrestling. Rampage brand defeat Dolph Ziggler, who makes his first appearance outside of WWE since his contract ended a few weeks ago. Yeston Reeves and Austin Aries in an elimination match in 25-16. The order elimination was Austin Aries first and ST Reeves, and finally Dolph Ziggler. Rampage Brown wins the PCW Championship. Dolph Ziggler slowed by his injury. Yeston Reeves old school face, very good. Old school heel going below average. Austin Aries 62. Dolph Ziggler 57. Yeston Reeves 49. Rampage 43. And Dolph Ziggler improving flying. So I will quite proud of that. And that's where we end the show. We're 39D+. It increased our popularity in one region. Austin Aries, Dolph Ziggler, and I'm going to go to our new champion, Rampage Brown. I wanted a British guy to be the champion. It was originally going to be given to Dolph on his first night, but I didn't think that was fair. So sadly, Dolph is not going to win the title in this PCW, even though he is working for Running Regal. We'll see you back at the main screen, and we'll run through each and every single of the companies before we end this episode. Thank you for watching PCW Fight Night. Well, things have just got interesting because Johnny Impact and Conga fighting at poolside. There you go. I hopefully get this done and then edited, and then I'll do the next episode at some point. Probably tomorrow because this is working well. Trying to get some done for today. So Dolph Ziggler suspended strained triceps. Where the? So yeah, we've got Drew Galloway's also coming into some of these kind. So at the moment, as many of you know, we've got some problems with wrestling. So we've got Drew Galloway under contract coming in for this is IPW. So Ashley Stark, Bea Priestley, Katrina Walters, Chris Wolf, Toni Storm, and Viper. I am going to be bringing in two more former wrestlers from IPW's history, who I have recently considered bringing back, and that is Zack Sabre Jr. and Will Ospreay. Will Ospreay at the moment is someone I absolutely adore and think is an amazing guy. So both of those guys are going to be making a comeback, probably into every single company in the near future. So yeah, IPW UK, we had a great show this month. Where is our show history? This is 56C-, so when Austin Aries defeated Jimmy Havoc, and we've got that story. You know, this is one of the few companies I actually have a storyline going on with. Is my belt. I will be putting strict storylines on soon, so every company will have to have storylines. Trying to work out what my two little angels are doing. Cats. So in the main event, you've got Austin Aries. You also got Dolph Ziggler, James Mason, Jimmy Havoc, Joseph Collins, and Marty Scurll. So yeah, Dolph Ziggler's here as well. So I'll be making the announcement at IPW UK Swerved 2018. Dolph Ziggler will be making his first on-screen appearance for IPW in a one-on-one match against Austin Aries for the IPW UK Heavyweight title. That's going to be happening. I think it's that title. Yeah, IPW. Fine. I'm going to continue going through the roster because that's what I'm meant to be doing. Upper mid-carders, you've got Dave Mastiff, Yeston Reese, JD Flash, John Ryan, Mark Haskins, and Shah Samuels. And the Beast from the East. Car Noir, Daryl Allen, Jack Sexsmith, Jim Hunter, Johnny Storm, Lee Hunter, Luke Dragon Phoenix, Robert Sharp, Strangler Davies. In the mid-carders, we've got no lower mid-carders. Adam Maxtess, Exodus, Jonathan Windsor, Kip Sabian, Robbie X, and Scott Starr. He wears a mask in World of Sport. I'm loving World of Sport at the moment. That's been quite good. This past week's episode was the best. Kira Donnelly, Danny Duggan, and Snare. I don't know where. Yeah, we're showing Exodus. Is there anyone in Richmond? And Sammy Smooth in Richmond. Other than that, there is authority figure. Of course, is me. I haven't made a screen appearance, but you know I will do eventually. Our road agent at the moment is no one, which is great. We need to get one in. We had this problem before. Personalities, we've got Daniel Edler. There is the original owner. And you are being gone. Yeah. And then Jetta, who's also going to be gone. I was meant to do that before, but they're both going. Our announcers. Where is the announcing? There we go. Is John Atkins. And of course, a colour commentator is the guy who actually does it in real life. I've gone for the real life one. Is Thomas Chamberlain. We do need to get a road agent in. And I've been thinking about this, and I think the only person who could probably do us any justice or anything is bringing in Ricky Knight. Because I want someone I can trust, and Ricky Knight has only got a contract with WAW, so it'll make sense. Right then, on to our next company, run by Jimmy Starr in the UK. It's Falling Star Wrestling. A lot of companies are Sister signed with ASAW, which is meant to have been there. So we've got no active title bouts, so this is also a part of the thing, but this roster is very much independent scenes, homemade roster, it's mine. So you've got Crusher Curtis, Danny Collins, Jimmy Starr, Jace Collins, Matt Walters in the main event. I forgot to show you the belts, so I'll do that in the next company. This one ain't got any, so I can't show you them. Bulk, CW Davis, Lion Kid, Patrick Vincent Crown, and Robbie Reed in the upper mid card scene. This has changed a bit since we last did our first show. Big Joe Crawley, Furio, Jack Hammer, Jaden Scott, Jody Flash, Mitch Basher, and Tom Falcon in the mid cards. Lower mid cards are Ashley Stark, George Rashford, Jonathan Windsor, Johnny Storm, and Kip Sabian. You'll see Kip Sabian's name come up quite a bit in this. Danny Duggan, King Kendo, and Sammy Smooth in the lower in the opener. So they're the opening act. And I don't think we've got any Richmond, no. So there you go, that's going on. No titles to speak of. And what does our... So we got a 43D for our first show, which is not too bad. Storyline wise, big names in a small pond. James Collins, Matt Walters. Big UK stars, which is Danny Collins, Jimmy Starr. Next Level versus the Pitbulls, and Vampire versus Fanzone, which is Fury and Tom Falcon. So all the companies will end up with storylines eventually, but for now it's only this one that's kind of been given. But we've got Sucker Punch in 13 days, which is what you've got to look forward to. On to the next one, which is Progress Wrestling. And I'm going to do a storyline which is going on in real life for the Progress. Because it seems to be been happening a while, so I'm just going to call it All Out War. I'm going to do a few more before that anyway. I'm going to probably do Mighty School and something. Some of the companies that are using, so okay, I didn't realise that. Let's go and have a look at that then. Summer Sash. So they defended the UK United Kingdom titles against those two, which is nice to see. That's nice to see some of the bouts going out to people. So yeah, Progress have got a great roster. I will give Progress some rest. Our first show, which was the Chapter 66, 54C minus, not bad really. 14,000 people watched it. Could have been a bit better, but we ain't got the roster to do any better than that really. You know, I am in negotiations with Drew Galloway, but it's taken forever. Mighty School, Pete Dunne, Travis Banks, Tyler Bate, Will Ospreay, and Zack Sabre Jr. are your main eventers over in Progress. Dave Massive, Al Ligero, Jimmy Havoc, Mark Haskins, Trent Seven, and Zach Gibson are your upper mid-carders. Chris Brooks, Eddie Dennis, James Drake, Kid Lycos, Matt Riddle, Morgan Webster, Strangler Davis, Walter, and Mr. William Either are all your mid-carders. Can we continue, please? Thank you. Lower mid-card, Chief Deputy Dunn, Jim Hunter, Lee Hunter, Rory Johnson. I don't know who Rory Johnson is, if I'm honest. I think he's that man who does that weird challenge. Might be wrong. Damien Moser, Ilbach Jr. and Jack Sexsmith. There's three who are probably going to get some sort of push. Session Moth, Ginny, Katie Harvey, Curly Ray, Leo DeMonto, and Tony Storm. I'm not going to bring any more women in for now. It's quite a nice little women's division. Glenn Joseph, which I think is me, is the announcer. Colour commentator is Dahlia Black. Obviously, I don't know if that's real or not. Obviously, as I haven't watched, as I said, I haven't watched Progress in a few months. Any referee on contract is Chris Roberts, and we've got no Jim Smallwood as an authority figure, which I don't mind. I can actually use that to my advantage. Madman Mason is a road agent for the company, which I think is quite cool. Don't know who Madman Mason is, but you know, he's made appearances before. John Briley is a personality. So yeah, Madman Mason is our road agent. That's when I should have already looked. Yeah, according to this, he's a wrestler, but yeah, he does road agents for most of the companies he works for. So, you know, that's what goes on in Progress. I've got nothing booked for Chapter 767, and I don't want to get anything really booked for any more shows until I've sat down, I've gone through all the main eventers and given them all storylines for each company. But you guys need to realise you're now getting 5 companies in Britain, so that's 1, 2, 3, 4. So that's 5 companies, that's one hand. You've got Impact Wrestling, 1994, and Local Global. That is 8 companies I'm running for you guys on YouTube at the moment. All Star Wrestling, I have an email, which is Angelico deal with Attack, and then Chris Brooks, and that extends the deal with Anonymous. That's fine. Fight Night. I didn't do too bad with Fight Night PCW. We'll get to that in a bit. So, our first show got a 54 C minus. Sellout crowd as well at 310 people. But as I say, this company is very much about bringing in stars from all over the world. So you've got some from Britain, you've got British wrestlers, quite a lot of British wrestlers, but then you've got the stars from overseas, like you've got Bulk, Storm, Jodie Flash, Rich Swann, and William Eva. As your main eventers, your upper mid-cards, Chris Brooks, Chris Ridgway, Jack Sexsmith, Jason Prime, and Johnny Storm. Adam Max, Death, Carl, and RJ Briscoe, Kid Lycos, Mark Briscoe, Rory Knight, Sammy Smooth, and Zach Knight in mid-carders. Just shows you the differences, you know, going from company to company shows you what's going on in the world. Chuck Mambo, David Moser, Kenny King, Rex Titus, and Ricky Knight Jr. I forgot to show the bouts of Progress. We'll worry about the bouts later. I'll probably show you the bouts at the end, you know, next month. Adam Chase, Angelico, and Sharp Boy are your openers. I like Sharp Boy and I wanted to use him in the companies or ASAW. And I've got Dave Finlay Jr. from Thingamy. There's no women's division in ASAW. That's a bonus. As being as you want here for the first show, I had to hire someone, but Jason Sterio is your announcer. Your color commentator is, of course, Billy Kirkwood. Because, you know, who have we got as a referee? We've got Brian Dixon. For some reason, he's a referee. And then you got Thomas Kearns as well. He normally stays behind the scenes, so I don't know why he's a referee, but we're showing the announcers. So, yes, Jason Santerigo and Billy Kirkwood are doing your commentary for the shows. And this is shown live on Twitch. So we do these live on Twitch each week. And finally, on to Preston City Wrestling, which we had a great show last night. I did forget to put it on TV for some reason. But lucky enough, I'm hoping, if not, I'm going to give Stephen Regal. No, Stone's a colour commentator, so I'm just going to I know it's a bit cheaty of me, but I'm going to do a quick edit because he hasn't done that for a while, and I don't know why the game's trying to make him do that. So I'm going to make him I'm just going to make him so he always is a road agent, just because it's cheaper for us to have him as a road agent than have him as a, and it makes this company a lot easier to run. Yeah, there we go. That's what I want him to be, is the road agent of the company, and James R. Kennedy to be our announcer, because we saw the problem at our last show. When is our next show? Oh, we haven't made one. Okay, we're in July, so I'm just going to give everybody a bit of a bonus, because the women are a bit annoyed about last night's booking. In fact, every woman who was in that match is annoyed at that booking. Nice going to put us in debt, but oh well. Stephen Regal, we'll just give Triple H a ring and go, "Oi, we're in debt, help us out." So yeah, we're all to push the roster again, see where we stand now. Because the problem was at the announce desk, Mark Adams and that was freaking, they were clashing like nobody's business, and I don't really need that. So in PCW, main event is Austin Aries, Dolph Ziggler. Oh, Grado's up there now. Rampage Brown and Shah Samuels. Glad Grado's up there, because that's where I wanted Grado to start off with, and I couldn't push him in them. Dave Massive, Alligero, Eston Reese, Lionheart, and Tyson T-Bone. Or T-Bone as he's known. Bubblegum, Chris Masters, Danny Halp, Dave Ryan, Dean Allmark, Joey Haynes, Keith Mart, and as you can see, he's a 58-year-old. So, Martin Kirby, I am going to be getting rid of him. I know he's on the roster in real life and he does wrestle, but he's not going to be very good for us. Martin Kirby, who took on Brian Kendrick. Hello, Martin Kirby. Ashton Smith, Kenny Williams, your Cruiserweight Champion. Lee Hunter, Robbie Dynamite, Rory Knight. So it's interesting going through here and seeing where, they shape up Jim Hunter, Ryan Smiles, and Zack Knight. Where they shape up to the other companies that they're working for. And you see all the different positions they take in those companies. And then Charlie Garrett, I don't know. His left up is good to do. I've never heard of him before. But hey ho. We're alright for managers and stuff. So yeah. Champion Rampage, Cruiserweight Champion Kenny Williams, Tag Team Champions Bubba Gum and Alligero, Women's Champion Millie McKenzie. Now, I hate it when the makers of the mod, make those lower level titles. They're not lower level. So yeah, I think that's us rounded up. Yep, it is. So we'll see you back here for episode 2. And we'll see what happens. But we're going to have a lot more action, a lot more wrestling, and a whole lot more fun as we do 5 companies in 1 country. Thank you for watching, guys.